Peace, peace. What's going on, world? Welcome to another Substantial Weekly. My name is Substantial, and I'm happy to be tuning in live with you. So, a couple quick things just to give you heads up. I do have the little one in the studio with me, so there may be a couple moments where you see me, pause the show for a second. To handle some business, because it's just me and her holding it down. She a little under the weather today, but yeah, man, good times regardless. So real quick, if it's your first time tuning in, be sure to hit that subscribe button, be sure to hit that like button, and also consider sharing this video so other people can come through and check it out, all that good stuff. So first and foremost, while I got y'all here, let's go ahead and throw this up on the screen. Yeah, man, just wanted to give y'all a heads up that you can vote for my panel now. That's going to be happening at, that will potentially be happening, at South by Southwest. So you can go ahead and, learn more info about this by checking out the link in the description of this video. And, man, God willing, if all goes well with the voting, you'll see your boy, along with my partner in crime, Rochelle Etienne Robinson, down in Texas this, would that be spring technically? I guess it would be close to spring, if not spring already. So yeah, man, definitely whatever support y'all are willing to offer, it is greatly appreciated. So hold on one second. Let me fix something in the background real fast, and we're going to jump into the next thing. Yes. All right. So, peace. What's going on? Ice Killer. Good to see you up in here. All is well, brother. I appreciate you for asking, man. I hope everything's good with you. Yeah. Hey, bro. Like it's that real. It's that real. There are people literally from all around the country, competing to be a part of this. So definitely, if y'all could take a second to go ahead and vote for your boy, it would be greatly appreciated. I will drop that link in there right now for those of you who are watching on other platforms. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube, also Twitch and Facebook, man. All of y'all are appreciated, and happy Friday to everybody. The link should be popping up now for everybody. All right. Dezu, you want to say peace? You want to say hi? You want to come on screen and say hi? You want to come over here real quick? Just be careful. It's two of me. Yeah. All right, come over here. Walk this way. All right. So my special guest, in-studio guest today is Destiny.
Hi.
All right, they can hear you in the mic. Say peace.
Peace.
All right, cool. You want to let them know what you're watching? Tell them what you're watching. What's your favorite show?
I'm watching Bluey.
Bluey. Yeah, she loves Bluey. Hey, man, let me tell you something. That TV show, it's a national treasure, son. Even though it's more like an international treasure, because I think it's from Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Are you good? You can get back in your chair? All right, cool. All right, there you go. Boom. But yeah, man, just getting back to the voting thing, I appreciate any of you who can support. You can definitely handle that after the show. If you forget the link, it is in the description of this video and is greatly support. It's great. We greatly appreciate greatly appreciate your support. All right, kiddo, don't do that. Hey, look at me. Don't do that. Don't do that, because it's gonna knock over the trash can. You see it? Yeah. So don't push on the ball like that. You understand? All right. Multitasking, son. So yeah, man, let's get into some of these comments real quick in the chat. All right. I appreciate the support. Thank you, family. She's so much taller than what I remember. Yeah, man, she's getting big for sure. It's flying up there. All right. Hey, peace. What's going on, Frankie? Thank you for tuning in. We got Warpath in the house. I'm not too bad. Same to you, Ice Killer. That's what's up. Showing love. I bookmarked it first slide. That's what's up, man. Appreciate it. That's what's up, man. Thanks. They said you're cute, Dezu. They said you're cute. She said,
thanks.
Peace. What's going on, Black Hawk? Good to see you up in here, fam. MD in the building. All that good all that good stuff. All right. So let's keep it moving. More announcements, so much more to get into. Next order of business as far as reminders are concerned. Also wanted to remind y'all, if you have not subscribed to my podcast that I have with the missus through our company Substantial Art and Music, please consider doing so. Link is right here in the chat as well. Yeah, man, we are moving forward. We're almost done with season 3. We have 2 episodes left. I believe our next guest is Tracy Lee, legendary hip hop artist, also entertainment lawyer and educator, fellow member of the DC area Grammy chapter as well. Definitely worth checking out, man. This season has been really awesome. Shout out to our sponsor, Words Beats and Life, for sponsoring every episode of this season. Their support has been amazing. And they recently let us know that they are continuing with us on the season 4. So we're already making plans for season 4. This season will be wrapping up, I believe, should be done by the end of September or middle September. Then we go on break to prep for the next season, and we'll be back in I think April. I think we'll be back in April of next year with season 4. So definitely, man, you can as far as how the episodes run, we typically have it where it is you can watch it live, you can watch the video live. You can even throw questions that you may have for the guests in the chat or comment on it while it's happening live. But then you can also tune in and just listen to the audio. So it's available on all platforms. So you can listen to the podcast on Amazon. You can listen to it on Apple, Spotify, et cetera, et cetera. So definitely check it out, man. It's a really good podcast where we take time to really dive into the careers of various types of professionals in art and music. And also, it's not just a bunch of like me just talking to a bunch of rappers or the missus just talking to a bunch of visual artists. Like we talk to different types of people. Our last guest actually is a curator she is a person responsible for oral history at the Smithsonian Museum of African American History and Culture. So definitely, man, we have a lot of unique guests that come on the show and give us a lot of insight in different career paths and stuff for other potential future professionals. You know what I mean? So definitely worth checking out. But thank you for that question, Ice Killer. All right. So let's keep it moving. More things to talk about. So much to cover. So little time. Oh yeah. So let's jump into this real quick. So for those of you who are supporters on Patreon, got some cool things to let you know about. Bless you. All right, you okay? All right, cool. Just making sure you good. All right. All right, so I just dropped the link in there because I have just updated Patreon again. Been doing my best to stay as consistent as possible to make sure you all are getting what you pay for. So yeah, man, definitely head over to Patreon at some point. If you haven't become a subscriber already, please consider doing so. A lot of content has been going up on there this month. Did an early drop of the first single from Adultish, which is a new song that features Mega Ran, produced by me. That's now available to listen to on my Patreon page. You can also now check out the instrumental, which I dropped earlier this week. And then just today, we're going to talk about this a bit more in detail later in the show, but just today I dropped some artwork for the new version of Home Is Where the Art Is, which is going to be dropping on all DSPs, all streaming platforms in September 9th. That will be available. So definitely head over there. If you're already a member of Patreon, you'll be able to see most of what I just talked about without signing up for anything additional. However, there are different tiers, which means the more you pay, the more you get to access. But I do want to let you know, as I've mentioned before, that will be changing going into the fall. The goal will be to allow people to pay whatever they can. So you can pay as little or as much as you can and have access to most of the same stuff, with the exception of the merchandise that's available exclusively on Patreon. So you stay at different levels for a certain period of time, and you're able to get certain merchandise for no additional cost to you. All right. So again, if you haven't signed up for Patreon already, something to consider. All of the support is always appreciated, man. Thank y'all so much. Y'all forever holding a brother down, and it's greatly appreciated. Oh yeah, and I just saw one of the comments that I missed before. Warpath pointed out that on Artistry, going back to Artistry, we've even interviewed chefs. So when we talk about, like, you know, making time to build with people in the arts, we're not just talking about drawing, and we're not just talking about people who make music. We're talking about all different types of creatives, because these are all different forms of art. And so it's our job as a company to not just offer resources to the public, but also certain information, man, just making sure that they understand that when we talk about art and music, it's vast, right? We're not just kind of focusing on helping graphic designers or illustrators, right? Like if you want to go into culinary arts, we're going to try our best to make sure that there's more information available for opportunities related to that. And so that's why we try to target a wide variety of different types of creatives. So thank you, Eric, for pointing that out, man. I appreciate it. I remember constantly asking for new seasons, and finally they're here, and we get to see them live and participate. Yeah, man. Yo, and shout out to you, man. Not Warpath, but and Warpath been coming through too, but Blackheart has been on with us live for almost every episode, so I greatly appreciate that. And shout out to the people who've been listening around the world, man. I can't remember exactly how many countries. I know it's over 20. I can't remember if we're in over 50 countries in terms of how many, like, different countries people have listened to the podcast. So don't get it twisted. If you show up on a YouTube channel and notice that the count's a little low, understand that it's also an audio podcast. So we have far more audio listeners than we do people viewing it on the website. But that's something that we introduced last season, in season 2, where we started including the video. And shout out to our contact at YouTube, who's definitely been giving us great advice on how to improve the show. Hence why we've been doing our best to step the production up here for Substantial Weekly and also for Artistry. So yeah, man, shout out to my man Brandon. All right, let's see. Still my favorite album from you so far, at least. That's referring to Home Is Where the Art Is, man. Thank you. And definitely got some great news to talk about with that. Shout out to Mike from Mello. We've been communicating about different things we want to offer. And let me know what type of merch y'all are interested in related to that album. Shirts, hoodies, whatever, you know, with the cover art or just the logo Home Is Where the Art Is. You know, we'll dive into that more later because there's a lot to talk about with that. But let's see, at work again, so I can't participate as much, but I'm here listening. Hey, man, we appreciate you. Thank you. Gonna hop on Patreon later tonight, finally. All good, man. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sure you're saying finally because you finally making time. But if that was a shot at me, I will take it, because I will tell y'all, man, for those who don't know, I haven't been doing the greatest job at maintaining Patreon. Like, I basically, for those who don't know, most of the stuff y'all see me doing online, from not just making the music and now producing my own music and mixing my own music, but like I'm also running most of these sites myself. So yeah, man, it takes a lot, and it's been tough, like trying to stay on top of getting this album done finally, and also making sure that I'm consistently updating Patreon. So like, after we finished Animal Arithmetic and finished posting that, I basically realized that, man, I hadn't posted anything over at Patreon for a while. So yeah, man, I just been on top of it this month. There's already been 3 new posts on there this month. You know, as I mentioned before, you can check out the new single and instrumental, the first single from Adultish, which features Mega Ran. The instrumental's now available, and the exclusive cover art that will be available for the 10th anniversary of Home is Where the Art Is. All of that's available right now. All right. And something that's actually been on Patreon for the producers who are watching, something that's been on Patreon since 2020, is all of the acapellas for Home is Where the Art Is have been up there this entire time. So in the next post I do updating about Home is Where the Art Is on Patreon, I'll be sure to bump that link back up to the top for those of you who missed it. All right. Let's see. Speaking in contact at YouTube, did you manage to get the monetization back? Still no updates on that. My man's on vacation right now, but we should be circling back soon. So hopefully that issue gets resolved. In a perfect world, it would be resolved before we do the live commentary for Home is Where the Art Is, which we'll jump into in a bit. But yeah, man, details on that coming soon. I will keep y'all posted for sure. All right, let's see something. Make sure I got everything. Another question. What did you get the rights to Home is Where the Art Is or something? Great question. So the deal that I have with Mellow Music Group still remains. However, we have been in contact. I've been talking to Mike at Mellow, and although it still remains the only album that I currently don't own, right? It's the only one of my records I don't have ownership of. It has officially become profitable. The album finally made back the money that was spent to make it. That record cost nearly $20,000 to make. So it's exciting to see that now, we passed that threshold a while back. And yeah, man, we're in talks and stuff, how to move forward, different things we can bring to y'all and to celebrate the 10th anniversary of it, and potentially other business along with that. So yeah, man. So, it's all good, man. It's progress, to say the least, man. And it'd be different. I think I'd be pushing harder to get control back if I didn't still have a good rapport with Mike and from Mello. But yeah, man, he's consistently been one of the good guys, man, in the music biz that I've had, that I've known for some time. So I'm appreciative of him for getting back whenever I reach out, because unfortunately this biz isn't always the easiest to manage, man. So it's dope when you find some good guys out there. So shout out to Mike from Mello, shout out to Mellow Music Group, shout out to Odyssey as well. All right, and yeah, Sirius Black, peace. What's going on, fam? Good to see you up in this joint. And my man Early, peace. Early, what's going on? I will see you in the studio tomorrow, sir. Tomorrow morning, bright and early. All right, so yeah, man, up next we got something else to plug. All right, let's throw that up there. Yo, so another reminder, man, that the next SketchPads event is coming soon. That is happening next Saturday, so not this weekend but the following weekend. It's happening in the DMV. It's going to be in Brandywine, Maryland. So those of you who are tuning in the DMV area or happen to be in town that weekend, be sure to come through to support SketchPads. It is 100% free. Doesn't cost you anything to come through. In fact, we are giving out gift bags. So yeah, man, just come through. You can get a gift bag that has art supplies in it, and you can participate in some live drawing. You can also see my wife, Rochelle Etienne Robinson, drawing live. We're going to have certain plants and different things like around the smoothie shop set up for you to draw, as long as along with bringing different like maybe pops or other types of models that my daughters have, like some of their toys or whatever that we set up for the youngsters if they want to draw, or for the adults who are fans of that stuff. You know what I mean? So that stuff will be available for people to draw as well. So it's going to be super dope, man. And I'm going to be doing a live beat set. So come through. It's great vibes. Spizzy is a really, really dope business, man. They have 2 locations. We're going to be at their second location, which is in Brandywine, Maryland, as I mentioned before. But definitely come through, support. Come grab a smoothie. Come draw with us. Come chill, listen to some good beats, and have a good time. Can't be mad at none of that. You know what I mean? And if you don't draw, you can do what my man just said right here. He definitely said, I love watching people draw. I will definitely not be drawing in public. I can respect it. You know, like I don't mind playing my beat in public, but I do not enjoy making beats in front of people. I went on live, I think one time on YouTube, making beats live. And I just felt so distracted. Like I really couldn't just kind of get in my groove. And it's like I'm playing this stuff, and because I'm not classically trained, when I step behind the keyboard and start playing something, fam, it is excruciating. Like it's a terrible, terrible process, man. Like it's a long journey, son. It's an arduous journey before I get what I really get where I want to be with the music. And so, and I realized that one time I did it was very distracting. So I may at some point in time play around with that again, where it's like maybe I develop the beat ahead of time, you know what I mean? Like have some pieces of it kind of laid out already, or at least practice certain things. So that way it's a little less awkward when I go live with the music production. I talked to my man Brandon at YouTube about doing just that. And I told him exactly what I told y'all. I do not enjoy doing that. So I feel you, Unbox Warehouse. I feel you completely. It is not, certain things I just don't like doing in public. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Random, I know, but Brandywine, that instantly makes me think of Lord of the Rings. True. Good catch. Early says he's going to try to come through the SketchPads. Yeah, man, it'd be great to see you, man. It'd be dope if Jules could come through too, man. I gotta reach out, and I'll send I need to send the RSVP to our group chat on IG. All right, you okay over there? Okay, cool. I got nice. Enjoy. All right. Got my co-captain in the background holding it down. All right. So let's see other comments. Where can I hear some beats? You can go through some of the videos right here on my channel to check out some of my production. I just realized I need to create a playlist that strictly has my instrumentals in it for YouTube. But you can also check out, if you go in the description of this video, you'll see a link that says bio.site/substantial. And there is a link to my Patreon, not my Patreon. Well, Patreon's there too, but to my Spotify. So some of the music there has me rapping, some has instrumentals. It's a little mixture of everything. But thank you for the question. Hey, peace. Scrub, what's going on, fam? Good to see you up in here. Scrubber Manjaro, good to see you up in this joint. Thank you for joining us, man. Peace and good morning to you as well. All right. Don't forget to drink your water. For those who are just tuning in, I have my youngest daughter with me in the studio. She's not feeling 100%. So, we're doing our co-captain thing, man. She holding it down in the background. But let's keep it moving because there are more announcements. All right. Next announcement. The day after the SketchPads event, there is another free event going on called the Green Flight event, or the Green Flight Festival, which is put on by my man Javier Starks. I will be hosting the actual concert that will be happening that day, which will feature performances, a short performance by me, a performance by Javier Starks and his band, and also some youth performers coming through as well. So it's going to be really dope. It's a great opportunity for you to learn about PEVs, personal electric vehicles, like One Wheel, which he's the number one wheel rider in the world. So you'll be able to ask him questions. Substantial Art Music is a co-sponsor of the event and been supporting through promo. And so you can come through, check our table and stuff. We will have merchandise there. No, this is not DJ Hive. I have two friends named Javier. This is not DJ Hive. This is Javier Starks. All right. DJ Hive is the one that did cuts on a couple tracks, Substantial tracks, and Bob Alloy tracks, while Javier Starks is an MC that is rapped on a few Substantial tracks. All right. Let's see. Man, when I create concepts, I have to be in the zone with no other energies until I have found a word. I feel you. I'm right there with you. What could you do though? Create a beat that day and recreate it before the live. Exactly. That's the plan. Or during the live. Yes. Let's see. Can you create a playlist of instrumentals on Apple Music /Spotify? I'll definitely have one on Spotify. I don't have an Apple Music account, so if I create any more playlists, it will definitely be on Spotify. So when that's ready, I'll try to shoot to have that ready for y'all by next week. A playlist of strictly instrumentals that I've produced. All right. can I use beats if I link in the description, or do you only sell? I do both. That is a great question. Thank you for asking. So I do both. If you wanted some exclusive beats that you wouldn't have to worry about in terms of affecting your monetization on your channel, that can be arranged. Absolutely. And then if you just want to use some of my instrumentals, as long as you are linking to like the instrumental, like where they can find it on whatever streaming platform, and potentially linking to me in case people want to hear more, that would be greatly appreciated. You can definitely shoot me an email at iamsubstantial.com/contact. All right. So hit me up. I would definitely love to discuss it with you more. And I appreciate you for even asking. All right. Let's keep it going. I feel the same about drawing in public. I feel you. All right, man. Listen, I understand. Saint Javier, that was Midas back in the day. Yep, exactly. Hey, peace. What's going on, Nike Flight 17? Oh, man, I am deeply honored. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. All right. Good to know. Good to know. I look forward to hearing from you, Unbox Warehouse. Definitely hit me up. And if you have a name other than Unbox Warehouse, so I can stop calling you that to let you know I'm talking to you, you can drop it in the chat, and I'll be sure to refer to you by that for the rest of the program. All right, so let's get into what is next real quick. Check my agenda and keep things flowing. All right, so already mentioned it before, and you all, when this is done, you all will be redirected to another video link. That link will not go live until September 9th, right? And the trailer will eventually be added over the weekend. But definitely, man, check out the link and make sure that you hit notify me on there, so that way you don't miss the live event when it gets started. But for those who don't know, we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Home Is Where the Art Is. I can't believe this album is 10 years old already. But this is really exciting, man. Definitely, I'm excited to be doing this live. The last time we did a live commentary, we were celebrating the 20th anniversary of To This Union a Son Was Born, which is also crazy to me that I have an album that's 20 years old, man. Hey, listen, I'm grateful to still be in it this long, to still be able to perform around the world, to still have fans who actively listen to me around the world, to see how my music has affected people's lives. Like, all of that is just amazing, man. I wish I could go back and tell my childhood self, like, hey, son, you're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? But definitely excited to do this, to talk about the record, to tell some of the stories about the record, talk about how Odyssey was involved, my connections with Mellow Music, how that came to be, show y'all the original artwork that was for the album, talk about the original title, because a lot of people don't know the story of what Home Is Where the Art Is originally was supposed to be called. And yeah, man, and maybe, possibly, have some guests come through. I'm definitely gonna holler at Steph first and foremost, because Steph is on the album a few different times, and maybe have a few guests call in and who were featured on the record, whether it was producers or some of the MCs that were on it, and of course the vocalists who contributed too. So yeah, man, so we'll see. All the surprises will be unveiled a bit later. Also happening that same day with the release of the album. So the 10th anniversary version of the album will drop that day, which will have instrumentals available for the first time on all streaming platforms. So you'll be able to stream the music from Home Is Where the Art Is, the original music along with the instrumentals. But then on top of that, the 2 bonus tracks in their original form, which weren't available on streaming platforms before, which is Moving All Right featuring YU, along with this track that I did with Javier Starks and Homeboy Sandman. That is called Reloaded. That will also be available on streaming platforms for the first time ever. So super exciting. Also some good news. I did talk to Mellow Music about repressing the vinyl. So we're talking about doing a limited edition pressing, second pressing of Home Is Where the Art Is exclusively on vinyl. So if you did not grab a copy on vinyl before, now will be your chance. We will keep you posted. I am going to be launching the Kickstarter for Adultish at the end of that month. So I will say that depending on when the pre-orders for the vinyl go live, for those of you who would like it included with your stuff that's going that's coming with Adultish, you can hold off and wait for that if you want. But we'll decide those. I'll let you know the final details as we get a bit closer. But again, September 9th at 8 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, man. Home is where the art is. 10th anniversary live commentary. Should be a good time. I'm excited. I hope you are. Destiny in the background sounds like she's excited too. All right. So, yeah, man. Let me know if you got questions about that. Mike, I just saw your other comment. If my videos get if my videos get 1 million views, I might have to charge you. No doubt. Hey, Mike, man, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. All right. Tommy says, morning all. Sorry, I'm late. Working too hard. All good. Better late than never. Thank you for tuning in, Tommy, man. Peace to you. All right. So my daughter is in the background watching some monster related show, and there's a werewolf on the screen. So I'm sure you hear all of that. Hey, Dezu. Yeah. Okay, it's okay. I know you're howling. You can howl one more time. Howl one more time for the people. There it is. Clap it up for him. Hey, there it is. All right. So yeah, let's let's get into what's next. There we go. Oh, hey Stan, don't forget my idea to do moving all right too with you. Hey, I have not forgotten. I'm considering possibly doing that for Adultish 2.0. So we will see. It definitely won't make it on the first version, but yeah, I'll keep you posted for sure. All right. Let's see. Next. So also happening on September 9th. Now, for those of you who are on Patreon already, you may have already seen this. But if you are not on Patreon, another reason to get on Patreon. But here for you, just wanted to give you guys heads up. So Spilled Milk music video will be debuting on September 9th. So some quick background about this music video. This music video was never released. It was recorded literally during the same weekend when we did the music video for See Here, which also will be finally added to my YouTube channel as well. So already on Mellow Music Group's YouTube channel, but I'll be adding it over here. So those of you won't have to travel far to watch it. But yeah, man, we'll be debuting the music video for Spilled Milk on September 9th. That will premiere right before the live commentary event. So definitely, that'll kind of be like the pregame show. We can start out by watching that, and then we'll go into the live commentary. Now, fun fact about this music video, it was actually never finished. Hold on one second. Yes. Of course they're coming back. They're coming back a bit later. Your sister's getting her hair done right now because, first day of school's coming up. It's real. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So super excited to premiere the video to you guys. It basically wasn't completed. We started working on it. And like while we were working on it, I just kind of felt like, I wish we had got additional shots or maybe had a slightly different idea. However, it's still pretty cool to see simply because it has Serenity, who is now 13, who was 3 at the time. She is dancing through most of the video. She's just going wild, son. Just my 3-year-old daughter, my oldest daughter at the time. She was my only daughter then, but she was dancing while I was performing for certain shots. And I mean, it's worth watching just to see those shots, like alone, you know what I mean? But the video was kind of meant to be like a continuation of the See Here video. But regardless of it being unfinished and not necessarily going the original direction we wanted, it's still pretty cool to see. And I just, it's one of my favorite songs from that album, hands down. And I just want you all to be able to see it. Yeah, man, I think it'll be pretty cool. Yeah, man. I'm glad y'all got a kick out of Destiny. All right. So yeah, man, that I think covers the majority of the stuff I wanted to run by y'all today. So at this time, we can get the Q&A popping per usual. Let me know if you got any questions. Feel free to throw them in the chat. And then also, man, if you haven't already, please consider donating to the channel. You can do so via Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, however you choose to support is greatly appreciated per usual. Another way to support is by copping exclusive merch. So these are the dedicated and driven hats, which is, the acronym DAD, dedicated and driven. And they have the little substantial logo on the back. So definitely head over to the channel. Pardon me, not the channel, but the store. You can check that out. Link should be right here in the chat, but also in the description of the video. Early, always great to see you, man. I'm looking forward to dropping bars with you tomorrow in the studio, man. Have a great one. All right. But yeah, man. Oh my God, I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention to y'all. Yes. Oh, some Adultish updates. Adultish right now. I've posted about it before. I might have mentioned it last week, but right now, 7 of the 10 songs for Adultish are complete in terms of recorded. The first song has been submitted for mixing. Shout out to my man Tone Deaf from Q&5 Music. He will officially be mixing the entire album. For those who don't know, he's responsible for mixing Extended Fam's Happy FU songs. He also mixed Sacrifice top to bottom, or contributed most of the mixing for Sacrifice. So shout out to my man Tone. It's been my brother for a minute, and man, salute to him. Let's see. All right, got a couple comments real quick. Spilled Milk gave me great motivation when I was also struggling financially and was under a lot of pressure. I always have a lot of appreciation for it. Man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, dude. It was a great way to start that album, man. Like, shout out to Odd for picking the beat, and shout out to Slop Funk Dust for killing it. Of course, I'll do a deep dive really talking about that song and the project a bit later, but thank you so much for the love, man. Ice Killer says, have you ever had something you own catch fire out of nowhere? Happened to my headphones the other day. Oh my God, I am so sorry. So I have kids. So I've never had anything catch fire. I'm not saying that because I have kids, nothing has ever caught fire. I'm saying that because I have kids, I've had things of mine destroyed, right, but not necessarily caught fire. So Serenity, back in the day, I had these Sony headphones that were worth at least $300, right? Like these $300 Sony headphones that I used to use for all of my mixing. She literally took them apart, man. Went in, was snatching wires and stuff, was pretty much trying to understand how they work. She was probably like 2 years old, and yeah, man, she just took my headphones apart, and I tried to get them repaired. There was no saving them. So I definitely feel that pain. I wouldn't call myself a hardcore sneakerhead. Like, I'm not out here dropping thousands of dollars on sneakers, but you gotta turn it down. So you need to turn it down. All right, some more. Keep going. I think you're turning it up, baby. You gotta turn it down. Go the other way. Yeah, but pause 1 second, y'all. I will be right back. I gotta help Destiny with something. All right, and I'm back. Let's see. So, but yeah, man, needless to say, when you got little ones, you are bound to have something of yours that is valuable destroyed. Serenity, one time when she was like 3, took a pin, and I had some like custom Nike, what are they, SB? Nike SB joints. They were Dunks for sure. They were custom joints. And she just started writing on them. Took a marker and just was writing on it. Hey fam, You ever want to understand? There's so many different ways to know how much you love somebody. But watching someone you love write all over something that you really like, you know what I'm saying? That cost you a good amount of coin to get, fam. Yeah, that will definitely let you know. It's like, oh man, if anyone else in this world did that, it would be a problem for them. But clearly, I love you. All right, let's see. Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Peace to you and yours. Definitely the shoes. It was crazy. It was crazy. Oh man, it hurt my whole soul. I've definitely caught Dezu trying to do the same thing once or twice. And luckily, because it wasn't my first rodeo, I was able to intervene. You know what I mean? But now we have a designated area for shoes where back then we didn't. They were just kind of like wherever I was. You know what I mean? Like I'd take them off, but then I'd take them to another place in the crib. So I had them in areas sometimes that they probably shouldn't have been. And if it's close to her workspace, man, she's just, the walls catching it, the papers catching it, the tables catching it, chairs are catching it. Ooh, look, sneakers. Now the sneakers caught it. Simple as that, son. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, designate. That's my advice to you. For those future parents of the world, designate certain areas of your home for specific things, right? Like if you want them to only draw in certain areas, then basically have an area designated for that. That will eliminate some of the kids drawing on the walls of your home and things like that, because you're teaching them that when you do this particular thing, this is the area of the house that you do that in, or the area of the apartment that you do this in, right? Same thing with your shoes, right? Like your shoes shouldn't be everywhere. Like people take their shoes off when they come in our home. Therefore, there's an area designated in the front of our home for the shoes. So that way I don't have to worry about my shoes ending up in her play area, you know what I'm saying, getting experimented on, son, you know, becoming an automobile for one of her toys, you know what I'm saying? And then she got put their name on it so they know we don't have them problems no more. We don't have them problems no more. I've learned. I've grown. Adultish. All right, here we go. Let's see, got another one. Are there any cons in the DMV area you are attending or recommend before the year is up? I do have plans to possibly go to Anime USA. That's happening in Arlington in October, mid-October. So I do plan on checking that out. I just found out, though, it's the same weekend as the DC Music Summit, and I have participated with that in the past too, and I plan on submitting for them this year. So it depends on who gets back to me first. If everything works out with Anime USA, then I'll be there. If not, I'll more than likely be at the DC Music Summit, or I'll potentially be at both. But that's another con you can check out. I'm trying to think of any other notable conventions happening. Most of the ones I know that's happening in the DMV for the rest of the year are happening after the new year. But definitely Anime USA, which is at the same, it's at the Hyatt Regency, the one really close to Reagan Airport. So definitely look that up, because our plan is to be present. All right, so keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully they pick up SketchPads. If not, we are having a SketchPads event that is happening in October. I know it's not a con, but it's another SketchPads event, and that will actually feature the homie Naturel, amazing visual artist, and that will also feature YU of Diamond District and the 1978ers. He will be doing a live beat set while Naturel is drawing live, and it'll be hosted by yours truly. That's happening October 22nd. I'll be putting details up soon, but it's happening October 22nd. It's going to be early in the day from 3 to 5 p.m. That's a Saturday later this year. That's going to happen a week before I head to Romania. So I'll be heading to Romania for 2 weeks. Because for those who don't know, I'm an ambassador of hip hop for the United States, for the State Department and the organization Next Level. So I got to head out of the country to do a 2-week residency in Romania. Speaking of worldwide travel, man, keep your fingers crossed, because I got 2 other potential things that are happening where I may be traveling to do some hip hop education stuff and perform. and possibly taking SketchPads international too. I can't get into full details yet because it's not confirmed, but it would be my first time going to these two regions of the world, and that is super exciting because I've wanted to go to both of these regions for a very long time. I didn't really care what country as long as it was somewhere in these regions in the Southern Hemisphere. So details will come when that's confirmed, but keep your fingers crossed, send some prayers up, whatever it is you do. If you're one of these people who clap like that to send energy my way, I don't care. I'm not here to judge. I just appreciate the good energy and I send it back your way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's get into these other questions before we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So you say you're back in time to contribute. Hold on one second. You okay? All right. Okay, so say you're back in time to contribute to Samurai Champloo's original soundtrack with access to to your current discography. What 5 of your beats are you going with? Ooh wee. Oh man. There's a beat that's on my new album. And that's, I'm gonna get back to that in a second because I was supposed to talk about give you some insight on Adultish too. But yeah, there's at least 2 new beats on my album that's coming that absolutely I would put those tracks in Samurai Champloo for sure. One of them I'd probably reword it a bit because there's some references to like Star Wars and The Mandalorian in this one song on the album. So I basically would switch that up and make it more focused on samurai culture, you know what I mean? Because I think it would fit. I think it would be amazing for that. And then there's this other track that T. Lucas is on. I'd probably rewrite it, but definitely the instrumental fit. There's a lot of beats on the new album that I feel like could possibly work. Now, as far as stuff that's already out there, I feel like maybe a couple of the tracks off of Dirty Sneakers, like the New Balance. I feel like that instrumental could work. I feel like man, for some of the slower and more dramatic scenes on Samurai Champloo, I think the instrumental for Wishing Well could be dope. I think that beat that I made, Nakagayo Kyoto, that instrumental I think could be dope for Samurai Champloo. And how many I picked so far? Well, no, that's 5. That's 5, right? 2 of them I know you haven't heard, but if I got rid of those and did 2 more, 92 Baby, the instrumental that I produced under that joint would definitely work. And then maybe that was the joint I did for Wealth. And then maybe what's the other one? Love 101 off of Wealth Project too. I feel like that instrumental could work too. And then some of the stuff, man, there's a lot. There's a couple joints off of, I feel like off of the Keep Cooking joints that could work. You know what I mean? It's a few, you know, but thank you. That's an interesting question. All right. Did you and Rochelle have a theme in mind when naming your 2 daughters, or was it more of a spontaneous thing? We actually had names planned out for our kids close to, oh man, like we were in our early 20s when we came up with the name. So Serenity's name and her middle name, those were names that we had for like since, I want to say like maybe 2-3 years into our relationship. So we were still living in Brooklyn. So a very long time ago, we had those names in mind. Yeah, man, maybe over 20 years ago, we picked out Serenity's name. And then with Destiny's name, her middle name we already had. Yes, you are Destiny Robinson. Hey. We had Destiny's middle name, which is Zuhara. We had her middle name picked out since like from a very long time ago. You know, like early in our relationship. Maybe not as early as Serenity's name, but maybe like 2 years after that. So we had her name planned out. as well. Then the name Destiny came a bit later when like my wife had met somebody while we were out at dinner. And when she introduced herself to Serenity, my wife liked how Destiny and Serenity sounded together, right? The similarities in the names, although they were different. And then of course we're big on meaning. And so we definitely was feeling how they sounded together and loved the meaning of both names. But then also the last part of that is that the second to last part of that is I had two students named Destiny. I had two different students named Destiny. One in particular who I was really close with while I was working with her in school and stuff. And so that name, when my wife was leaning toward that name, I wasn't mad at it because it made me think of one of my former students. But then what was the last part of it? There was one other thing and it's slipping my mind now. Oh, yeah. The last thing. This is something that my man, shout out to Godzilla, the group Godzilla, and shout out to their father, Asim Allah. Man, that king, man, he told me when I was young, I remember asking him about his son's names, because those dudes' names, it's like when people say, my name is my name, when you think of Marlo from The Wire, when he's like, my name is my name, I think of them dudes. Because, their father, it's like their father knew they were going to be rappers. Like, your names are crazy. So one of the rappers from Godzilla, his name's Powerful. That's his real name. His name's Powerful Rasheen Mathematics. Then my man Truth, that's God Allah Truth. That's his real name. And then my other man, Asim Eternal Mind. Those are their real names. And, so I asked them. I asked their dad straight up. I was like, your children got some interesting names. And keep in mind, all of them like this, fam. Like it's 7 of them, They all got these names. And I asked him straight up. I was like, what's up with the names? And he basically told me, he was like, man, if something ever happened to me, the only lesson I'd be able to leave with my children outside of whatever else I've taught them before something happened is in their name, right? And so it's important to give them a name that they can aspire to, a name that has meaning. It can be, that name sometimes can serve as direction. Now I'm paraphrasing, but that was my takeaway. Like, that name can serve as direction, can give them something to aspire to, can help build their character and stuff like that, rather than just kind of giving them a name to sound cool. That's not what I do. I'm not here to judge anybody else, but I wanted to make sure my children had names that when they took time to look at what their names meant, and not just their first names, but their full names and what those names mean together, it would give them some type of purpose and direction if I wasn't there to be able to guide them, right? So yeah, man. So that's what that's about. All right. Thank you for the question. I appreciate that. Let's see. Blackheart says, Matt, I missed you at Katsucon. John Eric Bentley was there too, who voiced Baroy from Final Fantasy VII remake. But I'm going to Blurred, Katsu, awesome, and Otakon definitely. I'll definitely be at Blurred. I'll definitely be at Otakon. Katsucon, possibly, maybe. Awesome Con, it would be my first time going. Hopefully everything works out. If so, I'll be there. But yeah, man, I'll definitely be at 2 of the 4 you mentioned. All right. 92 Baby is one of my faves. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like, the moment I made that beat, the moment I finished the beat, I hit my nephew up. I hit up Wealth and was like, hey, bro, I got one for you. And this thing right here, I'm telling you, son, I was like, this is going to be the one. And it's crazy because the only reason why it was the second single for Bridges is because he really wanted the most upbeat song on the project, which is 17 and oh, he wanted that to be the first single. And I told him, I was like, I'm telling you something, for the lane that I operate in and that people know me in, like, my fan base is going to gravitate to this one, 92 Baby. I'm telling you, bro, like, just from a marketing standpoint, never mind the fact that artistically, I think it's great. That's why I played it for you. I wouldn't have played it for you if I wasn't proud of it. But But yo, I just had a feeling. I'm like, son, this is gonna be the one that changes things, son. Trust me. And man, first one came out, song was streaming okay. It didn't do any crazy numbers. It did okay. Hold on one second. So maybe you got to try to do something else, okay? Like, I don't know why that one's not working anymore, kiddo. I'm sorry. Hey, they waved at me. Hi. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Open it back up. Don't quit. Go ahead, turn it back on. All right, you know what to do. Turn it back on. You can try a different activity, but don't give up because you were doing so well. So you can switch to something else if you need a break from that particular one. All right, good job. Yeah. Adventures in Parenting, son. But yeah, man, but 92 Baby went on to get picked up by at least 3 different Spotify editorials, and that song to this day, I believe, has just shy of 800,000 streams. So yeah, man, shout out to Wealth, and yeah, man, 92 Baby's definitely one of my favorites that I've made over the years. Peace, what's going on, Soul Tiger? Nice of you to join us. All right. Yeah, I always did think Serenity was a beautiful name. Did you have a name picked for a boy? Yeah. I believe we had 2 different names picked for boys. And they were kind of in the vein, like one of the names was Divinity, but we ended up switching that to Divine, which is actually would be a name similar to it. Not the same name that my boy's Godzilla is one of their brothers. That's his name, Divine. So like we had Divinity for a while, and then when my wife met the brothers, when she met all of them, and then she found out that one of the names was Divine, she was like, yeah, I think it should just be Divine instead of Divinity. And I was like, hey, I ain't mad at that. So yeah, we were ready, man. We had all the name. His middle name would have been Soul, you know. But yeah. All right, let's see. And it's super wise, actually. Damn. Yeah, man. It was great advice. Peace, AO. What's going on? Righteous Prophet Owens. I'm not sure what's that referring to, but let us know in the chat. I'm assuming that's somebody's name, and that's why you put it, because it's on the topic that we were talking about. Let's see. What in your eyes makes a great hip hop artist? What qualities do you look for? That's a great question. So I believe you're talking about music, so I'll focus on that, because hip hop artists could technically be a graffiti artist, a DJ, a b-boy / b-girl. But like if we're just talking rap, what I look for in a great hip hop artist, as far as the hip hop music that I listen to, lyrical content is extremely important to me. You know what you're talking about. I will sometimes give certain artists a pass where I'll listen to things that I don't necessarily, it's not necessarily how I live my life. You all right? Yeah, go ahead, have some water, all right? It's like there's certain artists I listen to where their life choices or what they choose to rap about ain't necessarily what I get down with or what I do. But I'm able to compartmentalize. I'm able to kind of separate certain things, especially, you know, like, because certain artists that I've met and who I listen to or seen interviews with, I know that they're doing this as a source of entertainment. In their eyes, they're treating this the way an actor treats acting, right? Where, like, I remember there was a rapper back in the day who we used to listen to named Boss. And she had interludes on her album where, like, people were just making fun of her, like, you went to private school, you have a private school education, what are you doing up here talking about this gangster shit? Right? Like, so I know that there are artists who absolutely, they just say stuff for spectacle purposes, right? And so some of them artists who are technically amazing and have amazing production and stuff, I can enjoy their stuff, right? But that's not majority of the people I listen to. But first and foremost, lyrical content is very important to me. The other thing is, as important as lyrical content is, fam, I don't care what you talk about. If your voice is terrible to me, Like if you have a really bad voice, if your voice is just not pleasing to my ears, fam, I cannot get with it. I don't care how dope the beats are. If the beats are dope, I'll wait for the instrumental album to drop. But I really can't. I just can't. And so there are certain artists. There are a few who don't have the best voices, but they really know how to use their voice and make it work. Who like I kind of give the pass occasionally, but that's few and far between. But that is one of my biggest things. There are artists who are not so good technically, but have great voices, and I thoroughly enjoy their stuff. You know what I mean? Flow is another one, man. Like, you know, their flow is really, really important to me because as far as I see it, a MC, a vocalist is just another instrument. Right now, they are the lead instrument in most cases. Therefore, there are certain things I need them to be doing extremely well. Now, lead instrument, like, you know, when you think of like a solo, when someone's playing, sometimes you got people who are like very much in the pocket of the music. They're still kind of doing things that seem a bit all over the place, but for the most part, they're locked in with a certain groove that the music has going on. And so like we see instrumentalists do that all the time. So I expect the same of vocalists, because there are some artists like somebody like Pharoah Monch who can do so many different things. So he has moments where he intentionally does an offbeat flow, but because he has exhibited immaculate flow so many times, we know that when he's kind of doing this offbeat thing, which is usually a temporary thing, it's not for the whole song, we know that it's him playing around with something different, not necessarily he can't find the rhythm. And so flow is extremely important, man. And so there are a ton of artists who fans tell me that they're into and they tell me to check out. And largely I can't get into their music, and it's usually because of some of those things. Of course, production is very important too. There are plenty of amazing MCs who pick production terribly. And so, you know, and of course that's my take. That isn't necessarily how everybody else feels, but you know, being able to have a good ear for beats and knowing what works well with you and stuff, that's very important to me too. But yeah, man, those are key components. And then the last, or not the last thing, but just the last thing I'll say right now, live performance, man. Like, you know, I know people don't really care about that when they listening to stuff in the crib, but like for you to be considered a great to me, if I've seen you live, and if I haven't seen you live, I can't really speak to how great you are, right? Because for me, like, you know, rappers are different from other folks, right? I mean, performers in general, like live performance is extremely important. But for a rapper, especially if you call yourself an MC, that term MC, it deals with the live event, the live show. That's mostly, I mean, that's solely what it deals with, right? Like master of ceremony. There has to be a ceremony, right? And so a great MC isn't based on what they're doing behind the mic in the studio, fam. Like for me to call them a great MC, they got to be great live. And like there's some people who can do some amazing technical stuff in the studio, but then when it's time to do it live, they can't do it. And so, you know, I don't see myself as one of those artists, you know what I mean? And so my expectation, what I expect of other artists is what I expect of myself. And that may not be fair in some people's eyes, but that's just how I feel, right? So so those are the things I look for when I'm picking a hip hop artist. All right. Thank you for that question. Let's see. First time I heard your music was on Nujabes albums. Dude was crazy good and huge influence. Kind of set the stage for lo-fi. No doubt. Thank you for sharing. All right. R.I.P. Nujabes. Makes perfect sense. Same. Been bumping 2 albums from your London counterpart, Funky DL, very recently. Life in Denison, that's a great record. And 20, also another great record. So dope. Yeah, shout out to my brother Funky DL. Word. Boldy James is one of those for me. I gotta check out Boldy James. I don't think I've heard their stuff. Same. Everywhere else I've said this, it's been controversial, but voice wise, that's why I can't listen to Danny Brown. Hey, bro, that's not a hot take for me. I think Danny Brown can rap. He absolutely can rap. I do not enjoy his voice. there's a few moments where I hear him and I'm like, okay, this is tolerable. I used to feel the same way, still feel the same way about some of Chance the Rapper stuff, you know, like definitely some of his older stuff, like on acid rap and things like that. There's moments, Kendrick's one of my favorite artists, period. There's moments where Kendrick does certain things with his voice and I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm so good. There's moments that M does certain things with his voice and I'm like, nah, I'm good, fam. And one of the best to ever do it. Kendrick, one of the best to ever do it. When they do certain things with their voice, it is not for me. It's not for me. And I'm okay with that. And there's more than enough music out here for all of us to love. And I'm not telling you you can't love it. I'm just saying that for me, fam, at this particular moment, that sounds like nails on the chalkboard to me, fam. And I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I don't have to. So I don't see why you expect me to, if I told you I don't enjoy something, why do you think that because you enjoy it, I got to enjoy it too? It's not the way it works, fam. Like everybody has their own taste. Everybody likes what they like, you know? All right. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar for the least pleasing voice to listen to on tracks when he tries to be loud but can't. Man. Oh, man. And last one, as a guy who's never been near the area, if you were to show me a few of the best places in Maryland, which ones would you choose? It depends on what it is you're looking to do. If we're talking about food, man, there are so many amazing restaurants in Maryland. I haven't been in a while, so I don't know if I should put it on the list, like anything that I haven't gone to in like more than a year or two. But there's a couple different places in Baltimore I used to go a lot, like Shirley's, and then oh my God, was it? I can't remember. It was Blue Oyster in East Baltimore, and then there was Terra Cafe is dope. What's it? Land of Kush, which is a dope vegan spot. Those are different spots in Baltimore that are really good. In PG, man, there's no shortage of like carryouts that you can hit up from Eddie's. I think that joint is at Capitol Heights or District Heights. I think it's Capitol Heights. No, it's really close to Southeast DC. But yeah, man, it's a ton of dope carryouts and stuff, man. Yeah, there's a lot of good places to eat. In terms of like museums and places like that, I would recommend checking out like I plan on going. Man, I just realized summer's almost over, yo. So if I'm going, I gotta go soon. They have like a museum for Harriet Tubman, because people forget sometimes that Harriet Tubman was from Maryland. But they have a museum for Harriet Tubman that's definitely dope to check out. There's a really small museum in PG that deals with the history of Prince George's County. The African American museum for PG is really dope. It's small, but they do a lot of really cool things there. But yeah, man, that's worth checking out. Oh man, where else? Yo, so many things to do in Maryland. Definitely the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. National Harbor here in PG is fun, like kind of touristy type of thing. Man, this stuff I'm forgetting right now, yo. So much. I didn't expect the question, so I wasn't prepared, son. But yeah, man, the DMV in general just has a lot to do. There's plenty to do in DC as well. Plenty to do in all throughout VA. Also in Maryland, you can check out Ocean City's dope. It's a nice little getaway. Oh my God, what's that area called, man? This little beach that we went to. It's like I forget what county it's in, but yeah, no shortage of things to do in Maryland, man. I'm gonna stop there before I embarrass myself. I got other Marylanders watching right now. Like, come on, son, gotta say blah blah blah. Blackheart, he from Maryland. You could throw something in the mix for sure. Is it the high-pitched voice that rubs you wrong? It's not necessarily a voice being high-pitched. It's, I think there are some times where people have a high voice, but then they're like screaming or they're trying to add extra, I don't know what to call it, but they're putting something else in their voice that doesn't necessarily need to be there. Because there are rappers with nasally voices that I've heard where it's not bad, but it's also because they've learned ways to make their voices sound more interesting, and it's a bit more pleasing than like just the kind of a high-pitched screaming delivery. Like anybody screaming in general, like that's almost never what I'm sitting around listening to, fam. And I also don't like rappers who rap the same way all the time, right? Like I'm a MF Doom fan, where I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, right? Like I like a lot of what Doom has done. However, one of my biggest complaints, if you ever see my man Fresh Daily, he'll let you know, because I've said this to him. I think Doom can rap. I think Doom is dope. But one of my biggest complaints about Doom is no matter what the subject matter was, for the most part, it was the same delivery. And that's a problem that I had with Cannabis too. Like no matter what it is Cannabis talks about, it was always the same delivery. I love my mama. My mama's the best. It's just like, nah, son. Like, it's like, if that's your voice, that's your voice. But even if that's your voice, I can choose not to listen to that particular song, because I just, when I talk about different things, when I'm talking to different people, my delivery changes depending on what we're talking about, right? The subject matter, depending on my mood, it changes. And so when I hear an artist that just consistently sounds the same, even when you hear these real dry dudes who just always sound like they sleep when they blah, blah, blah. And their whole MO is kind of that nothing bothers me. I'm forever unbothered. Hey man, I know people like that personally, and I've seen them get mad and their voice changes when they're mad. Right? So no one sounds the same all the time. So that's a big no-no for me. Like when I hear an artist who's just like, no matter what it is, I always sound the same. I can't. Yeah, I mean, even if I like your voice, I need the timbre to change. I need some switch ups here and there, fam. If I'm going to listen to you for like 30 to 40 minutes, I'm going to listen to you past 15 minutes. I'm going to need a switch up here and there, All right. I'll be down to try them all. I'll have to try to remember all these when I'm finally able to get out there, for sure. Sandy Point Beach. Yes, by the bridge. Sandy Point Beach is dope too, for sure. All right. Let's see. Downtown Annapolis, another good one. Man, listen, you be going, look, his avatar has a Maryland hat on. I was like, man, you asked this question at the right time. I knew my man was going to come in with some joints. I don't know why I didn't think to say Annapolis, but downtown Annapolis by the water is pretty dope for sure. Definitely avoid there if we get like torrential downpours, though. It's not necessarily any areas that are really close to the water are not ideal to be during downpours or bad weather. So many dope artists who have put out stuff that made me wince a little. KRS One on his dance hall flow for Brown Skin Woman. Shingo's overdone aggressiveness on FILO. Yeah, man, it's something that it doesn't work for everybody all the time. Like, you definitely, it pays to be conscious of that stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's tracks I've done where people didn't like my voice and how I sounded on a particular track, As much as I get complimented on my voice, I'm sure there's decisions I've made where people are like, I don't know about that one, son. These guys are brilliant, but yeah, word. All right. I love him, but a lot of his new stuff can get tiring because even though the skill is obviously there, he really sounds the same on everything sometimes. No doubt. I definitely feel you on that. All right. Yeah, agreed. But that's our show for the day, folks, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Adultish, what I was going to mention before we go. So some exciting news, man. I'm a step closer to finalizing getting the last sample cleared, the last music sample cleared for Adultish. Got an email today, which seemed promising. So next step is getting these contracts together. Getting this contract together and getting that signed off. And then, man, that'll be a green light. The great thing is that song, my plan isn't to release that song until January anyway, so we got plenty of time. But I've played the album for what's been done. I've played the album for like Sherm the Barber, my man Marvelous Jones, a couple other people. Obviously, my wife has heard it, and a couple other homies have heard some of the record. And this particular track definitely is one of the standouts. So it would break my heart if we weren't able to clear that sample. I'd probably still drop it on Patreon just for some people to hear. But yeah, man, it's really important to clear this sample because it's definitely a standout track. And it's one of my favorites for a lot of different reasons. So yeah, man, that was the last thing I wanted to tell y'all about. One sample was already cleared and stuff. Still gotta do some paperwork, but I did get something in writing stating that I had permission to use the other sample. So once both of the paperwork is signed on those, I'll actually, the cool thing is with those being cleared, I'll be giving y'all all the song and artist information so y'all can check them out and discover their catalogs and enjoy the original tracks. And it'd be dope to actually bring in one of the women who I sampled on one of the lives or on like a commentary about the song because of just to get her take on it, man. And she's a dope artist from the DMV, so that'd be dope. Let's see. Definitely want to be on early next time, but I'm glad I didn't miss everything. Hey, man, Soul Tiger, we're always happy to see you, man. Thanks for joining in. And let's see. Can Cash and Sherm together would make a hilarious skit on a future album someday? Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, yeah, we are. I'm sorry about that. We are talking about some of these skits that we had in mind for Adultish. And they'll likely be included with some of the people that we talked to because we're finalizing like the idea for it, and that's going to be like the final threads that bring the album together. But yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that is the show for today. I appreciate all the continued support per usual. Once again, you never have to donate to the channels, but it is always appreciated. So the links are in the chat, but then also running along the ticker at the bottom. You can contribute via Venmo, Cash App, and also PayPal. And so, man, definitely appreciate the continued support. New music coming soon, man. Updates about the potential of getting that Kickstarter campaign up by the end of September coming soon too. Once I get like the pre-link for that, I'll start sharing that. That'll probably happen around the first week of September, or at least a month out before we launch that. But yeah, man, that's it. I'm done for real. Thank y'all so much for watching, man. I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all be safe out here. Have an amazing weekend. If you're just tuning in, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it on whatever platform you feel like sharing it on. And thank you so much. Oh, and last thing, man, we are I think we're like around 700 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So thank y'all so much, man. Been consistently picking up subscribers every day, and that's been dope to see. But we're really close to hitting that 10,000 mark. So if you're a person who's on other platforms where there happen to be people who are fans of mine who don't know that we do this every week, please consider sharing it with them so they can join in on the conversation and get these updates every week. All right, but thank y'all so much once again, man. Y'all take care, be good, be safe out here, all of that good stuff. Take care, man. Peace, Ice Killer, Blackheart, Warpath, Frank, Soul Tiger, everybody, man. Y'all be good, yo. All right. Take it easy. Peace, 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 peace.